Okay, so this thing is already moving, and now suddenly there's a mention of a force that speeds us up, okay? And in the end, it's going to be moving at some speed. Now, by the way, you don't have to use energy to figure this out. We could just Suvat this, right? The force, we could figure out the acceleration is 53 divided by 350, right? We could figure out the acceleration. There's the initial velocity. And we could Suvat it, right? We'd know that after 35 meters, it would have some final velocity. But let's use energy, okay? So now we've got these possibilities. Notice that there's a force that's speeding us up. So we have Fs as an asset, right? So it goes on the left side if it's speeding you up. It's a force in the direction of motion. And right side forces are forces opposite the direction of motion, like friction, okay? So, and then it's like, what else does it have? Well, I don't see that there's any hills here, so there's no MGH. Or if there's an MGH, it's the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I see that it's moving, so we've got kinetic energy, right? And there's no springs here whatsoever, so we're done. Left side is the energy it already has because it's moving, plus the work the person does. Those are our total assets, right? And then afterwards, it hasn't gone up a hill. There's no mention of a force slowing it down. There's no spring, so all it has is kinetic energy, right? Notice that the mass doesn't cancel in any meaningful way out of this. And then this, of course it doesn't, because the more massive that is, that's going to affect the velocity it's got at the end, okay? So I think we can just plug the numbers in, right? So force, so 53 newtons times 35 meters. Dyslexics beware, right? Plus 1/2 350 times 4.6 squared equals 1/2 350 times v squared. So 53 times 35 is 1855. And 0.5 times 350 times 4.6 squared. Whoa. .5, that is 3703. So the whole left side here is 5. So we got 5, 5, 5, 8 is 1/2 350 v squared. So I'm going to take the number on my calculator, multiply by 2, divide by 350. And I get 31.76 is v squared, so v equals the square root of that, right? 5.6356, so 5.64 meters per second. Now let's see, what if we did Suvat? We could Suvat this, right? The acceleration is going to be 53 divided by 350. It's 1. It's 0.15143 meters per second squared. V squared is u squared plus 2as. So v is going to be 4.6 squared plus 2 times 0.15143, and then it's 35 meters, right? And by the way, we ought to be able to make this expression look like this expression. I'll leave that for the really smart kids. 4.6 squared plus 2 times the number I just got times, was it 35? Oh, lo and behold, I get the same exact number, 5.64. So in this case, really energy is not super much easier. I don't know. I don't have to think as hard to do this. Maybe that's worth something.